You know, I always do a clinker to start off the show. And one might think I do that on purpose. It's my trademark. Yeah. Well, greetings everybody from a messed up world. Coming to you directly from Los Angeles, California. That's right, Los Angeles, California. Home of the now on fire Los Angeles Dodgers. I don't know what it took, but they woke up. Hey, Knut, how are you, buddy? Good evening over there in Norway. Are you in Sweden? Turn that down just a little bit. I just want some texture. Sweden, I'm so sorry. No amp sound? Are you kidding? God damn it. Let me go in here really quick. Oh my God. No amp sound. This is just random. It just happens once in a while. Let's see if it does it now. I'm playing with every sound thing I can. Anything there? Did that change anything? I don't have many options. You know, like all I can do is sum it to mono. Like this. And then everything goes left and right. But let me try to... Stereo voice. No guitar. It's showing up here. It's showing up on StreamYard's thing too. And it sounds damn good. Oh, shit. Well, we might just have a talk show. It seems to be completely random. Fuck me. I mean, golly gee. I can restart my whole system, which I just did. And see if it comes back. If you guys sound like the guitar sounds come through. Yeah, that's all it is. No, you'd hear a nice big fat Stratocaster right now. Like a really good sound. Boy, this is starting to get just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Let me try to sum everything I possibly can. Saying an fix will cause the main outputs to be full line level and disable the main output monitor function. Okay. How about that? Oh, this guitar sounds so good too. All right, so, you know, no change. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to restart. And I'm not going to actually end the stream. I'm going to restart my machine, which will take about 2 minutes to do the whole thing. So can you guys just hang on and bear with me? If not, I'll log back in on Facebook and we'll just do a talk show for a little bit. I can't believe this. Hang on, guys. Bear with me. So sorry. I can't explain this. And it's just random. No, you're not hearing the capture, Scotty. I have issues with it. But it's sitting there. We're going back through the aux box. I'm hearing it loud and clear in my headphones. The Apogee Control Center shows everything there. When I go into StreamYard, it shows that it is receiving the signal. But it's not getting out to you. So I'm going to restart everything, hoping for the best. So if you guys can hang on just a second, I'll be back, I swear. I'm going to restart my whole computer. But I'm not going to end the stream, so sometimes it doesn't drop if I do it fast enough. So I'll see you in a minute. Love you, bye. Okay, I'm back. Any guitar? This is not a complicated setup. I mean, you literally just plug your interface into the computer. StreamYard sees it. StreamYard's seeing it. I can see the level. There's a little meter right here. When I hit chords, mono voice and guitar. You can hear guitar now. Yes. It's a great sounding guitar. So a funny story with this guitar. This is that 1986 Yoshino Japanese Stratocaster that I told you guys I bought when I was going to, there it is, yay! So, yeah, Scotty, I'll tell you the story on the Captor. It's a really nice thing, but I need to figure out there's some compression issues with it. So, I'm sure the guys are going to help me out. Guitar left, voice right. Yeah, I can't seem to change that. There is one setting. Let me try in here. Let me see if this does anything for you. Let me know. So I can turn off all stereo options here. And how's this? Does that make any difference at all? Now my camera's all different. Weird. Is that mono now? It's a moving target, man. What I did was turn off the stereo audio in StreamYard. But before I had to turn that on to make it work. Well, I want you to hear it in mono because it's a guitar amp. It's not stereo. Anyway, went to the center, but volume dropped a little bit. Okay. I'm at full output here, like I'm almost redlining on my thing. I can get a little more out of it here. Let's see what I can do. How's that? Is that a little better? I'm redlining there. Hold on a second. I know with digital stuff, when you get close to red line, it gets kind of gritty. How's that? We're getting good? Got a little hair around it. Strat. I just have my little fly board here. My big board's over there. I need to hook it back up with different dirt voices on it. You guys still there? How we doing? Getting closer? Doug, is the level better now? So these pickups, Ron Ellis pickups, by the way, Ron Ellis pickups, based in Carlsbad, California. Hey, Mike, how are you, buddy? Mike Leaptrot, everybody say hello. Everybody say hi to our friend Mike. Good to see you, Mike. So I have an interesting case study on this guitar. I want to tell you guys about it. Some of you have heard this story, so I'm going to repeat it just to be, and I'll try to be fast. I always have a fond relationship with this guitar because of how I came about. When I went to Musicians Institute in the 80s, I was there from 1986 to 1987. And it was the peak of the wheedly guys, right? That's when the world was snorting that line of cocaine to do everything you can on the neck, sweep picking and 8 fingers on the neck. And Eddie Van Halen started a thing, you know, for a little while until everybody realized they couldn't do it as good as Eddie, right? And they kind of gave up by the 90s. But there was a 7 or 8 year period in the 80s where everybody was sitting around doing that stuff. Anyway, so Eddie Van Halen used to come to Musicians Institute with a Michelob, which was awesome, by the way. So I was 21 when I went there. And my guitar hero, everybody's guitar hero, would come in there with a Michelob in his hands. And he would give a little seminar. And so one of the things that was available there is you could sign up on a clipboard. It was that long ago. You could sit in one of the practice rooms with Eddie with 4 other dudes, 5 other guys, 5 or 6 people total. And the only rule was, you're going to talk about music business stuff and like get his advice on practicing and, you know, what kind of strings do you use, man? And, you know, where do you get your EL34s for your amps? You know, that kind of stuff. But the only rule was he wasn't going to play guitar. You know, it was just a 15-minute deal. And he did like 4 of them, you know, just to sit and talk and just be a dude. It was really cool. And of course, in my group, I didn't bring a guitar because I knew there was no guitar playing. In my group, there was a guy who had a Japanese Yoshino Strat. These had just come out. This is a 62 reissue. Now, it wasn't green when I got it. It used to be Olympic white, and I tried to age it, and it turned Kermit the Frog green. I bought that re-ranch stuff, which works on lacquer paint, but not on poly. I didn't know that at the time. Anyway, he had a Japanese Strat, and he was sitting there going, "Come on, man, play Eruption. Come on, can you play Eruption? Come on, dude, play Eruption. I just want to see you do it." So Eddie kind of ignored him for a while. And finally he goes, "All right, give me your guitar." And it was a Kalamazoo Model 2 practice amp. They're about this big. You know, one 10-inch speaker with a single-ended EL84, volume tone, that's it. And there was a curly cord on the floor. So the guy plugged in his Japanese, we called them Japacasters back then. They were the cheapest guitar you could buy. They're $199 at Guitar Center. You could buy them used for $75. Anyway, he plugged the Japacaster. I say it affectionately because I love this guitar. He plugged it into the Kalamazoo Model 2, turned it all the way up, and played Eruption, right? You know, and it sounded exactly like the record. So I was the only guy in the room that didn't run down to Guitar Center and buy one of these guitars. I ended up buying one later because everyone got one because they watched Eddie do that. For me, it was a moment of like, oh, it's not the instrument, it's the guy, right? It's the guy. That's what makes it sound good. That was an epiphany for me. So I quickly realized then I was never going to be a Wheedly Wheedly guy because A, I don't love it. Hey, Lorenzo. How are you, buddy? Welcome. I thought I had to learn it just because everybody was. Like, oh, if I'm going to play guitar, I got to learn that shit, you know. It didn't move me. I like watching Eddie do it. And there's a couple of other guys that I thought did it really well. Warren DeMartini from Rat, you know, stuff like that. It's really good. But anyway, so I went and bought one of these guitars probably a month or two later. Everybody got one, right? And they're down at Guitar Center. And this was Olympic white, you know, which is kind of yellow, kind of a vanilla color. And I think I quickly changed the pickups out of it. Put some DiMarzios in it, which was about all you could buy back then. There wasn't much other than DiMarzio. Seymour Duncan, I think, was starting to make pickups then, but anyway, so, you know, that company Re-Ranch, you know, you could age your guitar, right? Uh-oh, something went wrong here. What happened? Uh-oh. Something just die? Bad cable. Anyway, so I went and bought this guitar. I kept it forever. So this was the tester guitar at 65 amps. So for 8 years or something, this was the guitar Wayne Failer and Joe Bourdet used to test the amps before they went out the door. Everybody fell in love. There's no frets left on it. It's just like... Takes a minute to get used to. The frets are so skinny on it now. 41 years later. 40 years later. 39 years later. Yeah, you got to see Paul Gilbert. Rob, yeah, that's when I was there, 87. Paul Gilbert graduated. He was in the class of 85, 86. Or no, 84, 85, I think. And then he was teaching when I was there. I was there 86, 87. And I saw Jeff Berlin a lot. He did that thing where he would do the Crossroads solo on his bass just to embarrass guitar players. Jeff Berlin and Frank Gambale had a band with Vinnie Colaiuta. That's what kind of school that was. It was nuts. Anyway, so the guitar just laying around. I love it. The neck is... So now these guitars are worth thousands of dollars. I've modified everything on this guitar, so I don't think it's worth anything. But I've done massively nice upgrades to it over the years. So the last one are these Ron Ellis 57 pickups. And these are so great. And then I'm getting a set of his 64s for my white Strat. But these are so good. And they got that 50s jangly thing, you know. Whereas the 60s sets are a little bigger and more mid-range, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan sort of thing. But the 50s ones are all jangly and clanky. But if you go to the neck pickup, though... So anyway, the big capper on this is I put the Super V bridge. I'm not getting paid for this, guys. I'm just sharing information with you. This company, Super V, Andy Elliott uses them on his guitars. And the blue Strat that I have that Andy Elliott made has a Super V bridge on. It's called a Blade Runner. And it just increases sustain and body on this guitar so much. It just rings. Like, there's no compression or anything going on here. it just rings. Strats normally don't, especially when it has that old pop metal bridge, that these things had on it. The hot rolled pop metal, like soup cans kind of thing. It's still ringing. You can hear it. But I did the Super V bridge and put the Ron Ellis pickups on. It's got a bone nut in it that Michael DeTemple did for me. And finally I did locking tuners, which did increase the sustain a little bit and the body of the note. But this guitar is made out of really hard alder. And the poly finish is probably an 1/8 of an inch thick. So it's a very bright piece of wood. And I think they did that on purpose in the 80s so they could put really cheap pickups in there and it still sounded pretty bright and spanky. So when you put really good pickups in that are bright and spanky, it's really bright, man. So I had to do some mods on the circuit to get it back to normal. I put a 0.1 cap in there. I put one of those Jupiter caps, the foil paper, oil, foil, whatever, tin foil caps in there. 0.1 instead of a 0.047. And then the volume pot, I was measuring at about 280K. So I did the math and I strapped a 910K resistor around it and got it down to about 220. And I seem to have compensated for the alder, this really brick of a guitar. The thing that's funny is I played it yesterday. I've got one of my 112 cabinets right here, all this stuff stacked up on. And it has my mid-70s G12M in it, and I played, no one was at home for a while, so I had the place to myself. It's not nitro, no, it's poly, it's cheap poly finish. It's really thick. Like I tried to sand a little bit off the back, and I was like, nah, I would have to, I'd rather just buy another body from Warmouth or something. It's not worth it. But it really stifles the guitar, right, and it makes it super bright. Nice lightweight wood that breathes has that blow, that bottom end resonance to it, This thing is just a spank monster. And I did a lot of compensation. Yeah, yours is 90s. Yeah, basswood. That's right. This is 86. I think it's just cheap alder. I should double check though. It might be basswood. I don't know. It's heavy. Before I changed the circuit on the guitar though, these pickups were too bright. We even went down to Ron's last week. And we were just kind of shit. I don't know. But it was so bright that I thought maybe there was accidentally a 500K pot in here. And there wasn't. It was 250, and it was measuring 250. But I have a bunch of those super pots from Billy at RS Guitar Works. Those guys are great. I'm from Missouri. They're in Kentucky, so we're homies. Anyway, I had 3 or 4 of those super pots in my desk. So I put one in just to see if it'd make a difference. And it actually did. It actually did make a little difference because the pot that was in there was like a Seymour Duncan pot or something. It changed sound a little bit. But then doing the math in order to get it to 220, I didn't quite need a 1 meg resistor. So I put in a 910 metal film. And it took the ice pick out of it. There was a lot of ice pick before. And Ron's pickups are not ice pick pickups. These are the best pickups you can buy, right? So I have the tone control rolled back a little bit. It's like on 8. Both of them are on 8. So that 0.1 Jupiter cap is in the circuit. It's a big cap, right? So I can mud it out if I want to. So yeah, I've got it on like 8. Yeah, mid-80s Squire. Those are great guitars too. This was just the Japanese 62 reissue. I think it's made in the Yoshino factory, which is where all the high-end Gretches are made and stuff like that. So they eventually spread them out all over the place, but now these first ones really draw money. If this were original, it'd be worth a few $1,000s. But you can hear how much this thing rings, right? I like guitars that ring. Ooh, yeah. There's that one little thing in Voodoo Child that I always think is like how you test a Strat. Is that bridge 2-point or standard? No, it's 4. Got 2 screws on each side. It fits in a standard. It fits in a standard 6 hole configuration, but there's only. Let me show you. Let me just make it easy. Let me hold it up to the camera. You can have a look and see. See how there's 4. And then it's on a blade instead of a standard connection. And it's got this high carbon, heavy block. And so it rings. Hey, Mac, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. No, I'm just using a little direct drive pedal here. I don't have my big board with all the good dirt on it, just this one pedal. This is a great pedal, but it's not a do-everything pedal. Anyway, that to me is how you can tell if your Strat and your guitar and your amp are working, if you can hear those notes. Apologies to Jimmy's ghost. Anyway, you get the idea. That's just a direct drive with a little slapback echo on it. I don't know what else I could do to this. I mean, I could put Michael DeTemple's fossilized mastodon ivory nut on it. Might mellow it out just a hair more, and give it some more sustain. It already rings like a dang bell, but telling you, this Super V bridge is ridiculous. Andy's been raving about him for, well, the Strat that he made me, that blue one, he made that for me in like 2012, something like that. And he was raving about these bridges then. So on his Strats, I'm not getting paid. I'm just telling you, these are good, man. Let's see if we can get their phone number there. superv.com. Why is it not focusing on there? Mm-hmm. You get the idea, though. Anyway, I'm extremely happy with it. Changed the guitar. So this is just my sentimental old friend. I've had it almost 40 years. At some point, I'll have to spring to get it refretted. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but the frets are really thin. So let's go down to super clean. These pickups are so... Someone asked me, Lorenzo, do you have a PRS? No, I do not have a PRS. What I meant to say a minute ago, I forgot to say it, is if you could hear this through a real speaker, like we're just in a load box now. This is the aux, which is great. It's the best load box around that I can think of, but it does not sound as good as my 70s Celestion M and 65 112. It's a very different sound. So Matt, good question. I have played Lance Lerman's guitars. I love Lance Lerman's stuff. He's a friend of mine. As a matter of fact, I'm going out there tomorrow, because he's making a guitar for me. So, anyway, Lance is the CNC king. And you're right. He's a very humble, nice person. Knows what he's doing. Got a great business out there. I think they're making 10 or 15 guitars a week, you know. Got that kind of thing. I didn't play that right, did I? I got too much bass here. Let's roll a little bass out of this. I'm sorry. Randy Kreth, how are you, buddy? I'm slowly getting over the COVID thing. I still got a little bit of it. I pretty much still have a non-negotiable nap once a day. I just wipe out. And then by 9:30 at night, I turn into a pumpkin. So I'm just playing some new Ron Ellis 57 pickups that I got in my old Japanese Stratocaster. Really brought it to life. So Lorenzo, back to your PRS question. To be honest with you, I like those guitars a lot. I don't get along with them very well. You know, the in-between scale. I had one for a while. I had a Grissom model. And it was a really nice guitar. I don't know what it is. I just don't resonate with them, pardon the pun, that well. And also, I'm kind of a traditionalist, you know? They're so nice. They look like they're too luxurious for me. It's still a little bright. Let's turn this down just a hair. So this is our old friend, the Monterey, too. I had one laying. I don't have a cabinet for it. I'm going to try to get one tomorrow night. Just a Monterey chassis laying around. I stuck some tubes in it and it fired right up. So I might refret it, Lorenzo. I mean, it's $300, you know, and to get a good fret job. And I can play this because I know this guitar so well, you know, like I'm okay right now. Yeah, so Scotty, you kind of nailed it. Paul Reed Smith guitars don't like how hard my right hand is. Me too. My right hand is an orangutan's right hand. I play with, this is a 1.1 millimeter pick. I play very heavy. I don't know what it is. I mean, I look at them and it's a beautiful made guitar, and the craftsmanship is undeniable, and everything's flawless. You know, their quality control is second to none. They're really good guitars. I don't know what's up. Mike Leaptrot says, I have a PRS Mira S2. Extremely good for the price point. Much better than the SE and no goofy bird inlays. Oh, cool. Randy Kreth says, PRS guitars are an acquired taste. I use them when I need a special sound that's not stock. I have 2 customs, an SE hollow body and an SE baritone. Wow. That's nice. Yeah, you got a lot of them. Like I say, I don't dislike them. It's just I only buy guitars that I kind of fall in love with. You know, like when I play it and go, yeah, I need this. And I just haven't had that happen yet with one of Paul's guitars. I hear other people play them and they sound perfect, you know. I've got to admit, though, the Strat thing that John Mayer's playing, I can't get used to that headstock on a Strat. But I say it's just for me, you know, like I'm not going to badmouth them. They're great guitar. Literally, they're one of the most well-made instruments I've ever seen. Just for some reason, you know, like there's certain women, you know, like everybody thinks are really beautiful, and you just go, eh. You know, I remember when I was a kid, there was this actress named Susan Anton, and everyone thought she was really gorgeous, and I didn't. I just kind of like, I don't know. Even this girl now who's out right now, Sydney Sweeney, I mean, she's got a great body, but I don't think she's pretty. And it's just one of those things, you know, personal. Randy Kress says, in all honesty, I've got the normal guitars in multiples as well, being an incredibly fortunate man. Yeah, you got a nice studio set up, Randy. We've seen the pictures. You're packing. I really wish you could hear this through a speaker. Man, yesterday I think I played guitar, you know, like sat here and it was cranked. I was rocking for like 90 minutes or something. And Scotty Bratcher, I think I'm hip, dude. I know what you're saying. I like a little trailer in my ladies. Yeah. From the ashes of almost to the phoenix of after the fire. Yes, that's true. That's been a while. When was that big fire? When did we fix that amp for you? Was that like 10 or 12 years ago? Yeah, the bass a little rumbly there. My headphones squeal in the microphone, sorry. Yeah, that was not a good lick, was it? 5 years ago, is that it? So it was during COVID? Oh. Too much of that 0.1 cap coming through here. Yeah. question, I hope that the government shutdown isn't affecting any of you guys. McCarty Thin Line, SG that works for me, and it's a Gibson scale. Okay, it's Paul's in between scale that I kind of have a problem with. I think it's just I'm too stuck in my ways. Mike Leaptrot says, that's why I married a Bama girl. Just enough trailer park for this Georgia boy. Yeah. My wife's from Smyrna, Georgia. And she'll pop a cold one with you and tell a dirty joke. Not in public, of course, because she's a lady. But in private, yeah, she knows what's up. That sound. That's the wrong key, though, isn't it? I haven't played Hendrix in so long. That's funny. Where there's trailer in the blood, there's going to be blood in the trailer. It does have the Midnight Ramble. I have my capo right here. We could do that. Thank you, Mac. That's very kind. Yeah, I mean, I did play back then for a living, so let's see. So you got a capo up on the 7th fret, right? So you can go. Castles Made of Sand. Oh my God. I'd have to study that and come back next week. It's one of those songs you got to play it correctly. That's more of a... Or is it more of a... Something like that. Or that's not even Castles, is it? Anyway, I got to go back and do some Hendrix. Hendrix, I loved Hendrix when I was a kid. But it's so complex if you want to play it correctly. You really got to spend some time doing it. Anyway, that's these pickups. And this is in a really questionable guitar. Granted, I upgraded everything. Like, if you just drop these pickups in a mediocre guitar, you're not going to get these results. But you have to get the strings ringing, so that Super V bridge and a nice bone nut. I might upgrade it to fossilized Mastodon, but that's $250. And then if I want to do frets too, we're talking $600 something upgrades in a guitar that I paid $199 for. So I'm going to have a few thousand in upgrades on a cheap guitar. But you probably have, I do too. I have 2 more Strats, and they're great. I got that Custom Shop 60 Relic that's the, really nice one. And it's been upgraded. It's Callahan bridge set. That one has Jason Lawler's pickups in it, which I'm going to put Ron's 64 set in, which is more the SRV, John Mayer, Hendrix-y kind of set. And that has locking tuners. That has the Mastodon nut on it. And then same with Andy's guitar. The Strat. I have Ron Ellis's humbucker in it. Andy's single coils. It's got the Mastodon nut and the Super V bridge. All all these things unfortunately cost money, right? So it's something you can do over time. I think this bridge, the way I got it, because I got the vintage saddles, which adds like $80 to it. I think the retail price on the bridge is like $240 or something like that. Really, and you can, I'm telling you, anybody can install it. And it comes with the bridge and the block. It's already pre-intonated. Like literally just screw it down and it freaking works. It's crazy. I didn't have to change anything. The intonation was perfect. That's the biggest scary part of changing your bridge out, right? Is you got to re-intonate the whole thing. This one I did not. There was no, I just screwed it down, 4 screws, and then I connected the claw, you know, the springs in the claw. So I had to loosen the claw, you know, to get it back far enough where I could connect the springs and then crank the claw back down. I spent a little time balancing it. You know, I like to have the bridge plate level with the guitar. I don't like it sticking up. I don't like it touching the body. I like to be able to pull up just a little bit so I can go where it sounds like a warbling tape, you know. I don't do diving. I just like to give it some, just having a little bit of upstroke there. Doesn't that sound like a shitty tape recorder? So like if I'm bending, stays perfectly in tune. I don't do the dive bombing thing. I used to do that in the 80s. And even then I was like, I was just doing it because everybody else was. Mario, how are you, man? This is my lifetime friend, Mario Denson from Columbia, Missouri. We grew up together. You still playing bass, Mario? Still hanging in there, getting better every day? You kind of caught me at the end here. My hands are wearing out. Really, you know, no Jeff Beck pull-ups. I can't pull up that far on this. That's about as far as I can go. Not even a quarter step, maybe. I just like it to sound a little wacko. I'm not really crazy. But anyway, Mario, thanks for dropping by, man. I'm actually going to be in Columbia. I'm flying to Columbia on October 13th. Going to see my dad. Haven't seen him in a while. Going to be there for about 8 days if you're around. Great, man. You're a good bass player, Mario, and you stick with it. It's a little ratty sounding here through the load box. Just a little scratch on the top. Let's see. That's right, Randy Kraft, Missouri in the Falls. Great. You're going to be there, Joan? Let's go to Starbucks again. That's my cousin Joan, everybody. Hey, everybody's here. All these guys from Columbia, Missouri, and my lovely cousin Joan, who I adore. You still have my phone number, right, Joan? If not, we'll do it on Messenger. I'll be there from the 13th to the 21st, I think. I'm going to Sedalia for a day. You know, that's where I was born. I got all our family over there. And, let's do it. Love to see you. Love to see you. But I'm going to be staying over at my dad's house, you know, right by your mom's house. So you know what to do. We can go for a walk in the neighborhood. My dad's got a new Brittany Spaniel. We can go for a walk and catch up. We can walk to some coffee joint. I don't know if there's any coffee joints within walking distance of our neighborhood, but who knows? Anyway, so guess what I'm doing, Randy? Missouri stuff, right? I'm going to Oktoberfest in Herman. Yay. Gonna go do the duck dance and drink some beer and local Missouri wine. It's your mom's 100th birthday. Get out of here. Are your brothers and sisters going to be there too? Oh my God. That's so cool. Our family, so Joan and I are part of this really enormous family, extended family. So Joan's father and my father are first cousins. And so we're just cousins, first cousins, once removed, second cousins, whatever it's called. Wow, I'd love to see all your siblings. That's amazing. Good genes, good genes. Unfortunately, I don't share any genes with your mom, so I'll get those. Worst case scenario, tell your mom congratulations. Mr. Leap Trot, Mike says, well, Mr. Carpetbagger, around here we got a thing called a Missouri boat ride. What's a Missouri boat ride, Mike? My family are all immigrants, so like this is all post-Civil War stuff, so I never got any of that. Yeah, I'm going to do nothing but Missouri stuff. So I'm going to Oktoberfest in Herman, Missouri, spelled with two N's, Herman. And I affectionately Clint Eastwood movie. Oh, okay. So, the outlaw Josie Wales, that's all about Missouri and Kansas, right? But, yeah, so going to do the thing. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not a carpetbagger. Like I say, my family's completely post-Civil War, so I ain't got no skin in that game at all. But there's wine you can buy in Herman, Missouri, and we gave it a French name. It's called Chateau Migraine. That shit will give you a headache, but it tastes really good. So, yeah, Joan, well, I'd love to see you. I'd love to see all your siblings. My goodness. I haven't seen Ken since high school, I think. I've seen a couple of your sisters, and they stay in touch on Facebook. Well, I'll tell my dad, too. He might want to come over and wish your mom happy birthday. I mean, we live like, 4 blocks away or something, so... yeah, that'd be cool. So yeah, I'm going like sporting clay shooting. I'm going fishing. Going to Oktoberfest. Hanging out at the University of Missouri. Gonna go down to Booch's and get some burgers. Mario, you want to meet me over there? My parents are originally from Sedalia, Missouri, Mac. Which kind of the music connection. Scott Joplin wrote all that ragtime stuff in Sedalia, Missouri. He was a piano player in a bordello, and he wrote ragtime music to keep the cowboys dancing, so they'd stick around and pay money for the girls. I think that's a very cool heritage myself, but. But then we moved to Columbia, Missouri when I was like 5 for my parents to go to graduate school. So Columbia is my home. Sedalia is kind of my ancestral home. Yeah, you're going to Oktoberfest too, Rob. Yeah, that's cool. Columbia is a great town. It's a really nice place. It's kind of idyllic little college town. It's not that small anymore. I think it's 130,000 people. But when Mario and... yeah, that's right. Paul's got his thing right across the street. Yeah, top 10. I've been there. I haven't seen Paul, though. I've been there a couple times, but I miss Paul. Yeah, so when I go to Columbia, I go to Booch's Burgers. I need to get a Shakespeare's Pizza. I need to go to Glenn's Cafe and get some Cajun food. I need to go over to G&D and see our friends over there, Alex and Pano, and get a really good pizza. Hear those guitar rings acoustically? Pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and shut the amp off because we're getting close. My headphones squeal on this microphone. It's kind of weird. So anyway, anybody's going to be in Columbia, Missouri, let's hook up. I haven't been back to Columbia in a while. It's been a few years. My dad's come out here, so I haven't had to go to Columbia. It's a really nice town. It's a really nice place. I don't want to move back there, but Missouri's changed a lot. I'll just leave it at that. Since I was a kid, it's been kind of taken over in a sad way. But anyway, let me set this down really quick. Hold on 1 second. Missouri is a beautiful state. I love it. People are really nice. And my family, for the most part, 3 of my 4 grandparents were like first generation. So, they moved here late 1800s, early 1900s, that kind of thing. So Missouri's all German and Irish. So the family that Joan and I share is all Germans. So when you go to Missouri, all of the hotels are H-A-U-S instead of H-O-U-S-E. I didn't know that people said bless you until I moved to California, because in Missouri, when someone sneezes, you say Gesundheit, which means be healthy, right? And phones ring. And even the McDonald's, there's a McDonald's, I don't know if it's still there or not, but there's a McDonald's on one of the exits close to Columbia where it had a sign over the door that said Willkommen. So, and it's pretty much owned by Anheuser-Busch, so beer is kind of like water when you're kids. But then the other side of my family are Irish immigrants, and so they're just rowdy as hell and really fun. And so I plan on one day I'm gonna meet in Sedalia, Joan, with a bunch of my cousins on my mom's side, and we're gonna do catfish. I think do a big catfish fry down at Liberty Park if you want to come. But yeah, we're going to go fishing in Liberty Park. And then my uncle owns a farm out in Bunston. And there's a big stocked lake there. So if you grew up in Missouri, guys, the state will stock your pond or lake for you for free. So my uncle has a place about 30 miles from Columbia, a couple 100 acres. Big stocked lake full of smallmouth bass, bluegill, and crappie. So, and they're dumb because no one fishes. Randy Krath, good to see you, buddy. The fish are dumb because no one fishes there. My uncle's passed away, so my dad they have a caretaker on the property, and my dad goes out there with the bird dog, and goes fishing every weekend. And it takes about 3 casts to catch a fish, and smallmouth bass fight. So this is all Missouri stuff, right? This is all seriously good, like Missouri activities. So I don't get to do that in Los Angeles. So you guys are probably sitting there going, what in the fuck is this guy talking about? So it's fun for me. I got to go home. And, Booch's is a place in Columbia. Yeah, Mike, come on up to Missouri, man. We got some good catfish there. With catfish fry Saturday afternoon with huge family. Thanks, Mac. I appreciate that. Yeah. We have quite a bit, but the more the better. So, the hell was I going to say? Yeah, catfish fry with all your cousins on a Saturday afternoon. It's really good. German and Irish together is a volatile combination. We always make the jokes like, I like to drink, I like to eat potatoes, I like to fight, and for some reason I want to take over Poland. I don't know, it's a bad joke, but it's true. It's funny, isn't it? I don't want to take over Poland. I love Poland. But bad German jokes. And Germans can make fun of Germans, by the way. It's not politically incorrect if a German makes fun of a German. So give me a break. Anyway, it's almost 1:00. I have done nothing but rattle on. I appreciate the offer there, Mac. That's great. Maybe down the road. I got quite a bit. My dad has been diving into this for decades. Basil, let's start over, he says. I just got here. Well, I would love to. But I got to run. I have an appointment maybe this afternoon with a guy that has an investment firm. And I haven't heard back from him, so I think maybe he's busy. Let me just double check. No, have not heard back. Super nice guy. We met last week. I'm sure something will happen. Your German ancestors were all right in Poland. Yeah, half of Poland was East Prussia for a long time. So East Prussia went all the way over to what is now called Gdansk, but it used to be Danzig. It was all Germany, the northern part of Poland. So there's a lot of intermingling there. It was just a joke. It's an inappropriate joke. But I couldn't resist. I think it's a funny joke. I like to eat, drink beer, eat potatoes, fight. And for some reason, no, it's quite a difference on both sides of my family, because my German side of the family, they're very, well-mannered, proper, don't cuss, like that kind of thing. And then you get my Irish relatives, man, it's a party. It's nothing but fun. But my German relatives, they're fun. Like, you're in a room with them, it's 110 decibels of laughter and talking, and it's all good. Everybody's nice. Point being, Mike Leaptrot, the point being that I don't have any Civil War sort of thing going on. None of my family were here. So I don't know what to do. But anyway, enough about me. Mario Denson, if you're going to be in Columbia, Joan, if you're still listening, let's definitely hook up. I can't believe your mom's turning 100. That's crazy. And she's still healthy and still around. That's so cool. I definitely would love to give her a kiss on the cheek and tell her happy birthday. You are going to be, Mario, you are going to be in Columbia. You're an American and a German citizen. That's right, because you were born over there, right? Military family? Yeah. So we could speak German. I speak German. Learned it from my grandmother. If you're going to be there in town, I'd love to see you, man. I don't know. When's the last time you and I saw each other? The 80s? We just talk on social media. So, yeah, I'd love to see you. I honestly, I want to go to Booch's. I want to go to Shakespeare's. I want to go to G&D. I want to go to Glenn's Cafe. I know there's a bunch of great new restaurants in Columbia, but those are my places. Those are my joints. So if you want to go over to Booch's and shoot some stick, drink a beer and eat a couple burgers, that'd be great. Or just share a pie over at G&D or Shakespeare's. I love to go to Glenn's and get their atchafalaya, which is good. Yeah. You were born in Nuremberg, right? I forgot. We got to go to the Heidelberg. Oh, yeah, and see Dickie. Well, Richard, right? We call him Richard now, right? Yeah, all those places. There's a million places to go. Columbia is such a great town. When I first left Columbia, I for about 5 years, I thought, I'm definitely going to move back, But I've kind of lived in all these other places now. I like to visit Columbia a lot. I don't think I could live there anymore. But, I lived in London, and I lived in New York, and I lived in Atlanta. And I've lived in Los Angeles now, this time, for 30 years. But every time I go to Columbia, I have a great time. And I see relatives and friends and everything, and the food's great. The steaks are ridiculous in Missouri, by the way, and they cost half of what they do in California. Rob Price says, my grandmother could speak better Polish than German. German's from Lithuania and from the Suwalki region in Poland. Yeah. My grandmother was from the North Rhine. I learned a lot of German from her. When I went to college, I went to the University of Missouri, and you have to take 18 hours of a foreign language to get a degree in the arts program. I have a degree in political science, right? So I'm in the arts and science department. And I thought, I already know German. This is going to be easy. Little did I know that there's High German and Low German. All I knew was Low German, and it was pretty regional dialect. It didn't serve me at all in college. Other than they said my accent was really good and I picked things up quickly. I could speak at twice the pace of the other students. But so I went in there and said, hey, I kind of speak German. Maybe I don't need to start in German 1. And so I went in and talked to the head of the department, Herr Muller, and I spoke for a minute. We were having a conversation and I couldn't keep up with him at all. And the words were different. And I was speaking and he goes, can you hang on a second? I'm like, sure. And he went and got a tape recorder. And he said, you speak a really old dialect that's not around anymore. And because of the wars, we don't really have recordings of much. So, and he called some of the graduate students in and they listened to me speak. And I was the little dancing bear. I spoke maybe like a third grader or something, not fluent. But my pronunciation and some words that I use apparently were dead. And so anyway, it was fun. I miss speaking German. My grandmother passed away a long time ago, so I spoke German with her. And, I spoke German with other students when I went to Mizzou. It's been a long time. I miss it. So when I go to Missouri, when I go to Herman, I can speak German. And then there's like a little tea room called Mozart's Tea Room in Cole Camp where it's a bunch of old German girls in there. And ironically, my Irish aunts love to go there with me and listen to me speak German with them. So I go pick up all my little aunties and we go to the Mozart Tea Room and speak German. And they speak perfect English there, of course, but my aunts just want to hear me speak German. Is that funny? Now you guys are getting into some serious Missouri backwater craziness. Well, anyway, Mario, let's exchange phone numbers on Messenger. I'd love to see you, man. Honestly, I didn't really keep up with a lot of people from high school. I don't know if you remember, but when I was in high school, I was playing music. I didn't really, other than the guys I was playing music with, I just didn't spend a lot of time with people at Rockbridge. My Joan here, who was there, and her brother Ken and I were really good friends. He's my cousin, and but I was out playing music every weekend, with Randy Singleton and Brian Kemp. So I wasn't around. So it's kind of funny when I go back there now. You guys are all so tight, and I don't really know you guys that well. Mario, I think you and I interacted more in junior high than we did in high school. But so I'm looking forward to it, and nobody cares about this. Everyone that watches my normal 65 shows go, what in the hell is this guy talking about? Sorry, if you're watching the recording. Yeah, that's right, West Junior. You probably remember my band playing there at lunch hour, right? So I dove in. Once I got into a band, I kind of quit. Doing sports. And my grades probably went down, and I'd love playing guitar. But anyway, I should run. Well, I'm excited. Then I get to see you guys. I'm going to see a lot of my cousins and see some old friends, and holy moly, it's going to be a fun week in Missouri. Anybody want to go to Oktoberfest, Mario? If not, seriously, those 4 restaurants, I'm going to be with my dad, so I'm not going to have a whole lot of downtime. My father's getting older, like all of our parents are, and so I want to make sure I spend every minute with him that I can. But he loves to shoot pool at Booch's. He's really good, too, fair warning. He might ask you to play for money. Don't do it. They have a nickname for him. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, these Ron Ellis's 57S pickups, they're really killer. I highly recommend them. They are expensive. My experience with Ron's pickups are when you get them, you're done. So if you're like me, I have spent thousands of dollars going through different sets of pickups trying to get something I really love. With Ron's, you're just kind of there. You're finished. Like my Les Paul, which I need to go back to. I've been doing a lot of Fender stuff lately. Let's go back to some Gibson things. But my Sunburst Les Paul, that Ron's humbucker's in there for 15 years. And before that, I think I had put 15 sets of pickups in there chasing, the sound that I could hear in my head. So I could have saved a lot of money by just going straight to Ron. It's hard. I know when you look at the pricing, you go, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money for a set of pickups. But so what Ron does differently, yeah, man, Oktoberfest is a big trip, Mario. Don't worry about that. But let's go get a bite. Let's go get a cup of coffee or something. Get a cup of coffee and walk on the Katy Trail for a while and catch up. That'd be nice. Anyway, Ron used to work for Livermore Labs, where Oppenheimer worked. He's that level of guy. And so he was able to put pickups on a spectral analysis machine and see what they're really made of. So when you say Alnico 2, what does that mean? Most pickup makers don't understand. They just go, it's less magnetism. It's not it. It's part of it, but how much aluminum, how much nickel, how much cobalt are in the magnets, right? What's the ratio there? And then how much carbon contamination's in the magnet, because they weren't, modern magnets and steel are cooked in a machine, right? It's done by a computer. Back then it was done by a person, so it was done at lower temperature. The materials would get polluted with carbon contamination. That makes a difference in the sound. Also, the wire back then wasn't level. It was kind of different diameters. Modern wire is perfect, right? And so Ron has identified all that stuff, which costs a lot of money, and he's using correct components that cost a lot of money. Also, he's one of the few people in our business that runs a legit shop. Like everybody there is on salary, they have health care, they get paid vacation, blah, 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 blah. If you know this business, that's extremely unusual. Extremely unusual. Usually it's a bunch of baseless, nameless contractors doing mindless work. Ron doesn't do that. He runs a really legit shop. So I feel good spending money with him because of that. Anyway, also he's a super gentleman. If you can see any videos of him on YouTube, check him out. He's a real gent. I was just down there last week. I took 4 guitars down. We kind of assessed the situation on all of them. I have his pickups in pretty much everything I own that he makes. I have a vintage Gretsch that doesn't have his pickups. I have a Rickenbacker that doesn't have his pickups. And I have a 58 Junior reissue from the custom shop that doesn't have his pickups, not because I don't want to put his P90s in there, just because these are really good. But all my other guitars, I'm kind of exclusively Ron now. But it's an investment. I get it. You're going to go to his website right now and go, damn, that's not worth it. It is worth it. I'm telling you right now, you're going to go broke saving money looking for stuff. You don't need to look any further. So you heard those. These are the 50s sounding Strat pickups, which are a little brighter, a little spankier, a little more forward. His 64s, I'm going to put in my white set. He's making me a set now, I think. That's more the John Mayer, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix kind of sound. Which even though this one does pretty good Hendrix, the 64s do it really well. So if you like the sound of Mayer's guitars, that's this. Previous to the Paul Reed Smith stuff, when he was playing Fenders, those had Ron's pickups in them. Those were the 64S's. I think with Paul's, he's got Paul's pickups in there now. But the old Fender stuff had Ron's pickups in them. So when you think about songs like Gravity and, things like that, really amazing Strat sounds, that's Ron's pickups. Those are the 64s. Yeah, Basil, they're expensive. They're double, sometimes triple. But the materials are second to none, and they're correct. A lot of guys just make pickups with parts they buy from StewMac. They got a little machine, they wind them, and it's pretty cut and dry. Everybody's got their own little recipe, of course, and they can make. I know guys that make great pickups. I mean, I can name you 5 builders right now that make really good pickups. Matter of fact, I went over and visited my friend Rob Timmons the other day on Monday. Arcane pickups, really nice pickups. Jason Lawler makes great pickups. There's a lot of people that do. Since Mark DiLorenzo has taken over Seymour Duncan, they're back in the game. their custom shop stuff is killing. So Ron's just kind of different. I like spending money with him because he runs a legit business and because he's a real gentleman. He's a super guy. So anyway, I'll quit raving about my friend Ron Ellis. When I met Ron, he was making pickups in his garage. This is maybe 20 years ago. Was it 20 years ago? Yeah, 21 years ago. And it was just, on Saturday afternoon, he'd wind some pickups. And Peter Stroud got me aside at NAMM, and Ron was there visiting NAMM. And Ron said, Peter said, you got to meet this guy, Ron Ellis. He makes the most ridiculous pickups. I just put some in one of my guitars, and he's super nice. So come say hi to him. And I met Ron, and sure enough, I was one of those guys where like, man, I really like this guy. How you meet people once in a while in your life where you go, damn, this guy's actually pretty cool. That's Ron Ellis. So Ron's aged, since then. He's retired now from working for Livermore, and he's a gentleman, and it's all good. So anyway, that's my pitch. I'll stop. And I'm not getting paid to say any of that stuff, by the way. I get my pickups like everybody else does. So I do get an industry accommodation because I'm in the industry, but, they're still not cheap. I do have the luxury of having Ron help me out and sometimes installing the pickups, which really helps. But I know how to work on guitars. My soldering just looks a little sloppy compared to these guys. My soldering looks like Jethro Bodine. Anyway, what I'm trying to really avoid is talk about the government. But I hope the government shutdown is not affecting you guys. I got to fly tomorrow or Saturday morning, flying up to Oakland and back over the weekend, see my daughter at college. She goes to school up there at UC Berkeley. And I'm hoping everything's okay. Fingers crossed. But anyway, all jokes aside, if the shutdown is affecting you or your family, I'm really sorry. I hope it, Basil, yeah, me too. My soldering looks like I did it with my feet. He says, yeah, mine's kind of sloppy. I'm sure if I did it all day, every day, I'd be pretty good after a little while, but I don't get the opportunity to solder anymore. And I haven't made an amp. Sorry, adjusting this light here really quick. I haven't made an amp from scratch in a long time, like almost 20 years. I don't like it. Your wife went there? What's that? To your feet? I'm just not really good at soldering. I never have been. I kind of like my neck hurts when I get down and do this. And, it's like, it's not my thing. I like designing prototypes, and I was working on the prototype over here this week, and I kind of fucked it up. I kind of screwed something up, and I can't figure it out. So I got to take it to an expert to get a little help. It's been that long. I'm not a good repair guy. I'm not a good troubleshooter beyond basics. Oh, UC Berkeley. Oh, yeah, right on. Cool, Basil. Yeah, it's a great school. Great school. Oppenheimer taught there. And the current president of Mexico went there. Like they have it's really weird when I go there. It's the only place I've ever been where they have a reserved parking section for Nobel Prize winners. Yeah, I'm sorry, Greg. I hope it's not hurting you. It's really dumb. They're always dumb, but this one is just dumb, What I really get tired of, and it's so insulting, is the lying. When you talk to the left, it's all, those guys are all evil and stupid, and they don't want to do anything, and they don't want milk for babies. And when you talk to the guys on the right, they all go, these people are all stupid, and they don't want anything, and they want to hurt you. And none of that's true. They're all vying for political power, and you and I pay the price. And it's just lies. It's just nothing but lies. Like, any American who tells you to hate another American is a bad person. I'm just going to say it out loud. So that negates cable news, right? So if you're watching your news on cable, they get rich off of scaring you and making you be fearful of other Americans, which is complete and utter bullshit. Americans are great. But a lot of people have been convinced to hate other Americans, and I ain't doing that. I'm not going to participate. So anyway, best I can say is I hope everything is okay where you are. I really do. I want the best for everybody. All Americans, whether we're the same party or the same race or the same religion, I do not care. I honestly do not care. I like nice people and don't like assholes. That's the end of my analysis. Mike Bledsoe, hey buddy, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, the fourth estate doesn't exist. They're all just corporate hoes. Corporate prostitutes. It's really sad. But honestly, like, if anybody's telling you to hate somebody else, they're full of it. It's not patriotic. It's not Christian. It's not anything. It's just bad. Yeah, you're right, Basil. There's a lot of things wrong right now. It's very dangerous times we're living in. Very scary. We're on the precipice of something weird, I think. So fingers crossed we all come through it okay. I certainly don't wish bad things on anybody. And I think there's a lot of bad stuff going to happen. Bad stuff's happening right now. I mean, we had National Guard here in Los Angeles. There's nothing wrong. LA's not a dangerous city. Like, you know, they do the list, the most dangerous cities and criminal activity or whatever. We're like number 18 or something, you know, like, and the towns they're going after are all not dangerous places. If you look at the murder rates and all that kind of stuff, like St. Louis is one of the worst ones, and, you know, places like that. Anyway, I don't want to go there and get down that rabbit hole. Everyone needs a nice guitar and a fine amp. That's right. And the world will be more peaceful. I think, Basil, you nailed it. Absolutely. Well, I'll just say something cute. I think we all know that we're 98% the same. And the things that separate us are mostly bullshit. That have been inflamed and exaggerated by politicians, predatory politicians, cynical, predatory politicians that want you to, those guys are to blame for everything. That's just complete and utter horseshit. And you know that in your hearts. You know that. Cable news has poisoned us all. So turn that crap off. Read a newspaper, go out and see people, shake hands, get off social media, and go to a music concert. Go to a restaurant and say hi to the people at the next table. You'll be astonished at how nice people actually are. So I'll leave it at that. It's easy to do if you try. Wasn't that John Lennon? Imagine. Anyway, I gotta go. It's 1:20. Looks like my afternoon appointment's not going to materialize. So I've got some, got a little free time. I'm going to get some work done here. Working on some documents for investors. It's going slow, man. A lot of it has to do with President Tariff, scaring people, scaring banks, scaring investors, scaring VCs, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I love you guys. I do. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for wasting your time with me. If you're watching the recording, I'm sorry for the rambling. Yeah, we could do a talk show, but I don't know. I don't know if that's smart or not. I get a lot of people that ask me to do that. I don't want to mix it with the music stuff. I'm sorry that I did today. But anyway, I love you guys. Mario Denson, I look forward to seeing you. Joan, my cousin Joan, who I love. I look forward to seeing you too. Very soon, week after next, I guess, right? So, all right, gotta run, fellas and ladies. I'll see you next week, definitely, I think, unless another one of these meetings. The only time I interrupt you guys is if I get an investor meeting, then I gotta go for that. So, yeah, I'd love to see Dave again. I haven't seen Dave in a long time. Anyway, love you guys, mean it. Peace and love, Mike. Thank you. All right, see you next week. Take care. All the best.